The best way I can describe it, or the way I try to describe it to people, is it's like a profit and loss statement. I don't know if there's any business owners, if you know what profit and loss is, but you've got your profit and you've got your loss, and you put them together and that gives you your net, right? And so what the Democrats and what the Congressional Budget Office and what a lot of these fiscal hawks are doing is they're looking at the loss. And they're saying, look at all this loss. And this, if we pass this bill, there's all this loss, but they're not looking at the net. In fact, here, let me see if I can get my overhead camera. Oh, is my overhead camera? Oh, it's really zoomed out. You can kind of see. Hold on, let me zoom in. I don't need you to look at my belly. There you go. All right, let me zoom in a little bit. There we go. Let me show you this. All right. So basically, here's how the big beautiful bill works, and here's how the Democrats are trying to keep you from supporting it. So you've got your profit. Oh, let's do green. You've got your profit. Okay, this is your own United States P&L statement, and then you've got your loss. All right. So the one big beautiful bill is a loss because it's a spending bill, right? I mean, if it's a spending bill, you're spending. It's going to be a lot. There's a lot in there that costs money. And so, yeah, you're going to lose money. Like, for example, there is a tax cut. The Trump tax cut becomes permanent because the only way the government makes money is through taxes. Cutting taxes is a loss. So the Congressional Budget Office looks at that and goes, oh, that is bad. That is negative money that we're losing. It's costing us money. When you look at something else that you put in there, for example, let's put in there the border security. There's border security, and there's hiring more border, agents. There's getting them pensions and bonuses and all this other stuff to make sure that our border remains secure. That also, well, we're paying people. That's a loss. So that's more money that is just out the door. Bada bing, bada boom. Then we've got other stuff in there. You've got, no tax on tips. Well, we used to get tax on those tips. No tax on tips. There's no tax on overtime. All that is stuff that we're losing money on, all those wages. That's just less money for the government. So this is all just loss. And when you look at the the OBBB, then you just see it as a big loss of money. But that's only half the story, because there's more to the economy than just one big, beautiful bill. There's the money that comes in. And this is, look, in all honesty, the Congressional Budget Office and the rest of the Democrats, they're not used to an administration that tries to find alternative ways to make money. There are alternative ways to make money. Tax revenue is not the only way to make money. It's the only way that anyone's ever tried to make money because it was just easier that way. It's the only way that they've ever tried to make money because they could just say, let's increase taxes. We're going to tax our citizens even more. And when we tax our citizens even more, then what happens is we get more money to spend. But there's all these other horrible things that happen. Like, for example, you lose jobs and people have to shut down their businesses. And then you have less revenue because there's less people employed, yada, 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 the whole thing. So Donald Trump says, look, we're actually not just going to spend money. We are going to make money. And we are going to make money in several different ways. Let me go back here and I'll show you. Let me pull up the overhead cam. So there we go. So Donald Trump says, look, we are going to drill, baby, drill. Drill, baby, drill. And if we drill, baby, drill, we're going to, first of all, stop buying foreign oil, which if you stop spending money on something, you're making money. And then we're also going to have money that we're also going to have excess oil because we have so much oil, man. There's so much oil in the United States. It's untapped. There's so much oil underneath underneath the crust of our earth that was just waiting to like bubble up like the Beverly Hillbillies. It's just insanity. And so we're going to go there and we're going to get all that oil and we're going to sell some of it and we're going to make even more money. So the profit comes from the oil. You know what else we're going to do? We're going to sell gold cards. We're going to sell for $5 million. If there's a high quality, and this is key, okay? If there is a high quality person, a high quality foreign individual who wants to come into the country, or if there's a company that wants to bring in a high quality foreign individual, if it's Apple or Oracle or one of those other countries, maybe it's some sports team and they really want this person to get a visa so they can come play, I don't know, on their basketball team or whatever, they can pay $5 million and the entire process is expedited. It's called the Gold Card. Donald Trump actually just launched the website. The Trump Gold Card is coming. Enter your information below to be notified the moment access opens. So you go in here, you put my name is this, I'm from the here, and I'm interested in a gold card for myself. Here's my email, you submit it, and then I'm sure someone from the White House will get right back to you and say, please wire the $5 million and we will start the process for your gold card and you will get expedited service into the United States. It's called a premium pricing for premium service. Everybody does it. The airlines do it. Car companies do it. Everybody does it. Donald Trump says if we were smart, which we are, with Donald Trump at the helm, then we're going to do it too. And so that gold card is going to bring in revenue. Hundreds of millions of dollars, if not billions, depending on how many they sell. There's other ways that Donald Trump is making money. Do you remember when Donald Trump went to the Middle East and came back with trillions of dollars of investment from Qatar, from Saudi Arabia, from Abu Dhabi, from all the places? He went to all these different places, the United Arab Emirates. He came back and he said, we have trillions of dollars worth of investment in AI. You've got chip manufacturers from Taiwan bringing their money here. You've got American companies like Apple saying, you know what? We're going to bring our jobs back here too, because we might as well. I mean, we're American. Americans buy our phones. We don't want to get tariffed out the wazoo. So Donald Trump says, look, bring all your stuff back here. And now we're going to get all of this investment. That is more money in our pockets, again, in the form of taxes, because we're going to have more jobs and we're going to have more people paying income tax. And that means that we're making more money. Tariffs are another way that billions of dollars. Here's Howard Lutnick. Listen to Howard Lutnick. Don't listen to me. Listen to Howard Lutnick. Here's Howard Lutnick to tell you how tariffs are killing it at the moment and how much money we are making from these tariffs. Where is Howard Lutnick?
Not only.
Nope, that's not Howard Lutnick. Hang on. Oh, here he is.
Oh, you can't believe it, right? You have low inflation. You got the economy humming. You've got tariffs bringing in $34 billion a month, $88 billion since Donald Trump started. I mean, the Congress doesn't count that on the big, beautiful bill, but United States of America counts it on our bottom line. Donald Trump is doing everything he said. He's bringing it all. And I tell you what, it can't feel much better.
The bottom line. That's a business guy. That's basically how everyone in this administration is looking at this. Scott Bessent, Howard Lutnick, Donald Trump. Look at this. You got losses. Sure, we're spending money, but we're making money too. And at the end of the day, here's where it differs, okay? When you look at all of these things and you total them all up, let me see if I can fit it all on the screen here. When you look at all these things and you total it all up, what happens is you have the Congressional Budget Office and Rand Paul and Democrats all saying one thing. They're all saying that when you add up all of these cuts, just the losses, then the losses will equal $2 trillion that is added to the debt. And that is not cutting the debt. But when you add up everything together, when you take the profit, add it up, subtract the losses, then you've got Donald Trump and the White House and congressional Republicans saying, no, we are going to add $2 trillion in income, and we are going to then pay down the debt. So it's all how you look at it. Are you looking at one section of it, or are you looking at the whole big thing? I do a lot. Sorry, I get excited about this. This is the kind of stuff I do in my Golden Age Influencers network. When we go to get our game meetings and people are asking about like stats and how to make money, I always whip out the overhead cam and the Sharpies, and I do a lot of things. I draw a lot of stuff. Usually it's about business and social media marketing and things like that. So I got a little, you could tell I geeked out a little bit on that, but it was a lot of fun to do. And that's exactly why the One Big Beautiful Bill is getting more and more support. And if you think about it, the only thing that Rand Paul has said, Rand Paul would be a yes if it weren't for the debt ceiling increase. Rand Paul would be a yes if it weren't for the debt ceiling increase of $5 trillion or whatever it is. And the reason he says that, the reason he would not be, or he would be a yes without that, is because he thinks that's what's going to add to the debt. But when you sit down with him and when you explain it, when you go through and you see what's happening, and you see that we're bringing in more money, and if there's a promise, now here's the kicker, the promise has to be to take that money and pay down the debt. You can't just take the money and then buy more stuff with it. It's like, if you win the lottery, the first thing you want to do is pay off your credit cards. You don't want to say, oh, yay, I can pay. Yeah, let me go buy a bunch of stuff and then pay off the credit cards. You pay off the credit cards first, then whatever's left over, you can reinvest. That's how I've never won the lottery, but I've seen a lot of lottery dream house stories where people go broke, and that's why. So that's just my recommendation.